All right, everybody, let's get started for today. Thank you, Mad Crabs. Let's get there. 1 second. There you go. Take care of that. Shout out to the chat. Today, want to dive quick into the crypto. Obviously, at least we are back up, which is nice. Absolutely. Quick risk disclaimer. Yeah, of course. I don't know. What happened to podcast number 17? I don't know. I'll have to take a look. Maybe they pulled it for copyright content. I don't know. All right, Kyle, I'll look at your Trias tether in a minute. Hey, Alice, how are you? Snipes, what's happening? Appreciate that. Everybody, today's Tuesday, February 15th. We're here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday with the Harmonic Pattern Podcast. For now, it's been going pretty good for a few months. I'm enjoying it. Hope everyone's enjoying it. This is content that is for entertainment purposes. This is not financial advice, but I hope you find it educational. And let's jump into Ethereum. That's where we started yesterday. We were clear type 1 reaction termination in the midst of the type 2 return now. So we outlined that. Don't need to repeat. Look at yesterday. 2848 was the big number, target 1. And we had HSI to boot. I talked a little bit about why I thought it would be better if that HSI trigger was a little bit below target 1, but it was close enough. So we're in the return process. That's between reaction and reversal. So this is the return move. And we go back to XA leg 3253 for Ethereum on the 4-hour chart. What the market's going to do when the Eastern Bloc goes up in smoke? Come on. We're talking harmonic patterns here, although I think that's a funny comment. Love the hype in the chat. Appreciate it. Thanks, James. Esteban, what's up? I think everything that we would need to consider for the market purposes, meaning what are the levels that we want to utilize for actionable decisions for profit. Yesterday it was targeting Ethereum for the return move back up to 3253. Anything larger, I think, after the last 2 years, I think we can just turn it all off. I mean, we've been talking about turning off the news. I personally have been talking about turning off the news entirely as a trader for more than 2 decades. And now as a human being, I would just recommend turning off the news, about 95% of it, and just go off of the charts. What can we do, right? It's all noise. It's always been noise. If anything, we see it as a contrarian signal. News has always been a sell the news event. With the harmonic patterns, this is the framework we follow, so we're not even considering narratives. That's the beautiful thing with crypto. The crypto markets are fueled on narratives, but what if that narrative is running you right into a 1618 extension? That's an absolute sell. Important to consider that. I think that's the kind of the thing with crypto markets that has been a challenge for most people. They don't have fundamental earnings and analyst reports in a traditional sense. So we're pure price action here. You can have a larger narrative that money is flowing into the crypto markets, but we're looking for opportunities, folks. I am not a crypto expert. I think it's a promising technology of of those crypto that I understand. And I also understand enough to know that a bunch of crypto is garbage. But it's all speculation. It doesn't matter how good or bad. You have to accept the risks. We're here as traders trying to exchange dollars for more dollars. It's funny, we talk about hating dollars, but that's what we're here to make. If it's crypto or you want to call it fiat or whatever, we want to focus on the levels. We want to focus on signals that are actionable within the framework that we're talking about, which is harmonic pattern framework. I think if you took away everything, news reports, what have you, and followed some basic principles like understand that every 1.618 extension is usually a state of being naturally overextended. It's gone too far. We want to buy on retracements, we want to sell on extensions, but it's easy to get caught up in the news. We saw that in Bitcoin. Let's segue to Bitcoin really quick. We saw that in Bitcoin towards the end of last year where it was supposed to go to 100,000. It slammed everybody in the face at 68,000. Bitcoin is in a slightly different situation than Ethereum. You have a couple of interesting developments that I think is worth noting. The 45,244 number, folks, after thinking about this quite a bit, actually, not only do we have a bat pattern, but it does relate to the prior crab. We have a prior crab pattern that we talked about back in January. It was a 1618 decline. It's ugly. It did fail, but the corresponding profit target was relative, or still is relative, to the overall 45,000 level. Now, I want to take a look at how we retest here, but the interesting aspect is Bitcoin never did an official type 1 reaction. It did not complete the reaction, that is. So this is still in type 1, a type 1 situation, meaning any kind of downtrend, down move is still just a reaction to about 40,900. But we've come back up and take a look at the PRZ, the potential reversal zone on the bat pattern. How many days? Take a look. There's terminal bar. There is 30 days right there, folks. That's 30 days. And even though we didn't get to target one of the things to consider with the 30-day marker is that the cycle, think of it as resetting, or at least from a time perspective, something's going to change. And this initial reaction was over at bar 31 and resetting for another retest. I think we've got on this top side here, before, we're either looking for XA to be retested at 45,440, 45,438, or harmonic strength index to roll over up in this zone. We're there. 45,000 is the number. 45,500, 45 even. If you're going to see something much larger for Bitcoin, which, hey, it's still possible. You do have this hop level at 49,000. That is a possibility. So we're still grinding our way back higher. We're in this consolidation clearly. I think a minimum test of 45.5 should unfold in the next day or so. Not to mention, this is an alternate bat pattern. The low B point at a 382 sets us up possibly for going higher. So wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin continue to squeak higher. It's holding. We're plus 30 bars after a bearish pattern. That's a pretty good sign, at least for the harmonic pause. I would not be surprised, folks, to see this thing come up a little bit more and make its way by the end of the week up to this 45, 46 level as we consolidate higher and generate some kind of harmonic strength index signal. We are in the overbought area now on the 4-hour chart. Let's see how many bars we spend up here. This is the retest. This is, even if it's a type 1 reaction because we haven't hit target 1, which is the case, we're still looking for a fuller retest, terminal bar retest, up another 1,000, 1,500 higher. It's up, 3, almost 4% on the day. Not bad. Also, let's take a look at one or two we posted yesterday. Algo popping off of that lower zone that we mentioned on the actually, this is Algo's a daily setup, folks. Large. Come back here. Where'd you go? Where's the Algo setup? Is that a 4-hour chart? What am I missing here? Oh, there's the bat pattern, but I had a larger structure as well. I think a crab pattern, maybe it was hourly. There was 2 back-to-backs. We're still pretty early in that development, but 90 cents is the floor for Algo. I posted that on the Twitter feed. Cardano, much better. Look at Cardano on the hourly coming off that 102 level from yesterday that we talked about. 102, 104. I think you need to start looking at this to finally stabilize. There's the butterfly for Cardano, folks, and the hop level at 102.72 is your floor. And that could be building nicely where even we go back, retest that prior crab pattern, we get back-to-back formations. Maybe we take a little bit of time. Maybe we do a type 1 off the butterfly, then we come back and try to form a higher low, and then go for the full retest on the crab. Something like that. Yeah, we've seen a lot of nice patterns. There has been an update. Actually, let me take a second to announce that there will be a major update for all TradingView HPC users, subscribers, owners. Really important. I will have more information on it Thursday. But this will be an enhanced version above and beyond this first release that we have brought out. We brought this new release last week. It was an update to the PineScript version on TradingView, and many people have noted many more patterns, better signals, faster loading. What we will have in store, and it will be, I think, on Sunday. I'm going to confirm it, but we will have an entirely new upgrade where you will have all of your modules, okay, will be together into one pattern module. This will be called the HPC combo, where your ABCD and your M and W will all load in as one module. And the other beautiful thing is we'll combine the sizes. So we're able to consolidate all of this functionality, these workarounds that we had to do to bring all of the tools and all the scanning features. With the new update, we're going to combine it. It also will improve our scanning features. So for our scanner, I think it's on here. No. For our scanner module, Let me just bring up a window. Uh, where'd it go? Where's the indicator? Load the indicator. There you go. So the scanner, which is the harmonic pattern watch list, will be a lot more user friendly. You'll be able to access more symbols, and it will have all of the various pattern sizes condensed into the one scanning watch list. So it's going to make it a lot easier. Again, I think you guys are going to see a tremendous amount of performance enhancement. So the final piece with this is I'm going to release this, and again, anybody that hasn't used the TradingView program, or if you took a trial before and you want to get a new crack at this next week, we'll allow everyone to get another trial, get another crack at the new updated version. Once I get my hands on it, I don't even have it yet, but I should be getting it before, well, everyone else, obviously. I'll spend a day going through it, but we'll have a couple of updated videos. I will let people try it. And then there's been a lot of requests that people still want to buy it. They want to still buy HPC for TradingView. So we're going to do something where I will let you buy this, but I have to cut it off at the end of this month. So come back on Thursday. I'll have a lot more information, but this is going to be phenomenal. Some of the advancements that we will get and soon to come, I think are going to improve the web version to where it's almost like a pro. Yeah. One of these days we'll get the my partner, who is a genius, on here to talk about the program, because together he and I have been able to really hammer this out. So big props to him, which is Chris over SR dash analyst, Divergent Software, that is, but sr-analyst.com. Couple more. I did want to update because I think the crypto situation with the return is going to help the altcoins. So let's get back to it. Let's look at Polkadot. Here we go. Polkadot on the hourly chart yesterday, we were talking about this crab pattern or bat pattern down here around 18. Now we have a little bit of crab pattern, but this is working its way out. So Polkadot, another one. If you're not on it, get on it. Get it on your radar. If we can get maybe a type 1 reaction back to retest that zone and then go, it definitely seems like DOT is starting to build and begin to make the run back up and above the 20 area. On the daily, take a look. A lot of them. I think that one hit the 886. Got it. Sure, I can do Gala. Here's really quick Polkadot, like all the other ones. Look at that. All right, it maybe fell just a touch shy of its 886. The 886 is like that. And keep an eye on it. I like that. I like that because it's not only stabilized, forming a higher low, trying to break out. You get above, actually get above 23 on Polkadot, it's gone. But you do have this phenomenon, like we're seeing in a lot of the S coins, the breakout of the downtrend. And whatever analysis you do, I think no matter what, if it's Elliott wave, if it's some kind of indicator or what have you, I think trend lines have to be in everybody's arsenal of tools, and understanding where the larger developments do occur, especially after the breakout. I mentioned this on a few S coins a couple sessions ago. We want to be to the right of these downtrends and let it develop and then start to build. That way the hard work is done. We're not underneath the weight of the downtrend. Let's look at Gala, because I think that was one that broke out. Yeah. Gala, nice one. Thank you for mentioning it, by the way. Uh, Broke out of the downtrend. And now I would much rather be looking at Gala to the right in this area than trying to fish it down here. I mean, this is, look, perfect 886. This was, I think, yeah, Coinbase. This one fit right into the whole strategy of looking for these ones that go on Coinbase and then do pretty much your full reset 886. There you go. 886 was around 20 cents. But it's probably even better. I mean, you could have been triggering off of something right there at the 886, and that would have been great. But you would have sat through it, 10 days or more. You got this big thrust. But the larger reaction that I would anticipate for Gala will probably come from something like this. There's your first thrust. Come down to like a 618. Retest that downtrend. Just the slight uptrend off the low, and then go. Back to around 50 cents. The 886 off that last swing area, 52. But at least to the right of that downtrend, whatever that next signal is to the right of that downtrend is going to give you a greater potential for acceleration than underneath the trend. One or two more in the crypto space. Let me go to Solana. Okay, Solana is not there yet. Solana is an example of needing more time, where this has to break out of the downtrend first. And I would want to see this. Yeah, I could even be a little bit more conservative on that. Say this has got more time. Really quick about these trend lines, folks. Depending on where, obviously you take the pivot high to start your trend line, but a lot of people will argue exactly where do we draw off the secondary line? There. I mean, you could probably start the trend line drawing there, but then you have this crazy peak that popped up. Well, within the long-term perspective, that's relevant. That matters. So that would be what I would call a primary trend line. And then something that I call an accelerated trend line, usually a steeper slope, usually more than 60 degrees, something like that. Solana has work to do. Not quite there yet versus some of those others. Okay, that's a good one. Someone's bringing up OMG. We have talked about this. Perfect shark. Perfect. Beautiful. All time. Take a look. This has broken out. And we could take this. Let's do it off this downtrend of that last move. Very close to establishing a higher low, and then break out above 550, you're gone. This is a much better spot to be fishing for crypto and altcoin than 6 months ago. No doubt. Or probably the best opportunity in nearly a year. That's the way to think about it. I will look at ZIL in a second. I have to look at this Trias. Kyle's been asking me for 2 days. This is on KuCoin, KuCoin, KuCoin. Another 886, folks. I think this is the same framework, same assessment as all of them. This one really, you could kind of trace out a bat pattern here, folks. Something like this. It's not really pretty, but look at the 886 right on the money again. Over and over again. How many times? How many times do we have to see 886 develop before we just go with it? Um, this one, I know you asked me about this yesterday. This is actually now, today, breaking out to where your first signal, really the first signal of this entire downtrend, is triggering today with the breakout of the prior 3 bar range. The breakdown, this whole breakdown from November, that's over. That's definitely over. Where could it go? Well, like most of these and your all-time 886s that across the board are down there kind of trying to stabilize and do a reaction, we look at either 236 around $10 or 382 is your big number, 13 and change. But at least it's stabilizing. You're right of the downtrend. You want to see some W formation take shape and begin to go higher. We did algo when we started today. Algo is off of the 90 cent level. Check about 5 minutes into today's session for algo. Here's ZIL versus the dollar. My brother keeps telling me about this. But he was telling me about this about 6 months ago, I think at 10 cents. ZIL, dollar. Go to 4 hour. Not much. This is still at the all-time 886, I know that. No, not all-time. This would be your all-time 886. And I need to check other exchanges, but all-time 886 on ZIL is almost there. 3.5 cents, 348. Like the other ones, are you to the right of your downtrend? These are real simple questions you can ask yourself for any crypto that you're looking at. Have you hit the all-time 886? Are you to the right of the downtrend yet? Because we could spend many weeks, we could spend 8, 10, 12 weeks going sideways and doing stuff into the summer before you see any kind of real substantial action. That's why it's important to look for those to the right of that downtrend at a minimum, no matter what the pattern is. Sushi, you know what, that was like synthetics. I haven't looked at Sushi Swap for a while. I'm going to guess an 886, right? 886. Huh. I must have deleted sushi. Thought I had it on there. This was on Coinbase. This came on Coinbase, what, a year ago? No. Yeah, you're back in April 22. There's the FTX exchange. That's an all-time bat pattern at the 886. Didn't get down there. All-time 886 is around $3. The daily, yeah, this has got a bat formation. Well, actually, I take that back. Let's connect dots. Let's start from the beginning. Sushi Swap. Sushi USD. All time on FTX exchange. There's X to A. Let's make sure A is tight exactly on the price bar. Okay. B point, is that exactly on the price bar? B point is right there exactly. So what is it? Well, B point's at a 57.8. What do we know about the Gartley? The B point should be at a 61.8%, but typically within a 3% plus minus range. So we're generally, 4%. That's real close. So maybe we should look at this at a 786. The other way to tell, how do we know whether or not to favor a 786 or an 886? The B point is important. And if we can figure out the Gartley, pretty much everything else is a bat pattern, because it'll go to the 886, even if it's an ugly structure. But the Gartleys, to really detect those, let's pull up the ABCD. So our A to B leg from 22 down to $10 roughly, 12. Let's clone that line and project it. So our ABCD leg, 12 off the low. Standard, just straight up AB equals CD, puts you around 890. That matches up a little bit better with the 786. So 786 is right there, 550. Remember, ABCD is just a minimum. Okay, and we'll utilize the BC extension to complement it. But this actually then points us, maybe for sushi, a little bit better. I'm glad you brought this up, because when we want to connect the dots and get the ratios correct, part of the equation for the D point is the ABCD consideration. If it's a bat pattern, usually A to B is going to be your first leg, but the C to D will be an extension, like 1.27 or maybe even 1.618 of that leg, because the B point will be in a different location. Gartley should be a tight alignment that has the ratios. If you come back down to that 550 area here, all right, stabilize, give us some kind of signal. I would say this is a type 2 of that Gartley. Treat it as a Gartley. There's your type 1 move, reaction, come back down, retest. But I still need to see a breakout, and I need to see some kind of confirmation. But at least if you can connect the dots, there's a lot there. There really is. A couple more. I'll look at Stellar Lumens, which they really got clobbered. We know what the deal is with XRP. You folks know that I think XRP has got one of the best bullish patterns on the weekly charts out there. What about XLM? Anything here? Jeez, not really. Not really. That's a different chart than what we've been looking at. Let's add a couple of exchanges and see if we can get a few different views. That's not even close to an all-time 886. Let me get the per pep. No, that's not right. One moment. I'm just trying to look at these where some of the newer exchanges to see if there's anything that stands out. Now this one, if you go off the Coinbase feed, which is probably one of the best feeds you can use, still no structure, no M or W formation there, not even close to an 886. And even if you're looking at, say, has this violated any kind of downtrend? This is of concern. In much the same way in 2017 when this thing was coming down. Show me where it violates the downtrend. We could go as tight as possible on that downtrend and zero construction. I mean, zero stabilization. Maybe that first shot there. But it gives you the kind of idea much consolidation will have to happen after the fact. That's not one I would have on my radar. XRP is one that I would have on my radar because we know that's a type 2. And even though they're related, you would say, well, if XRP is going to run, then Lumens would run too. But this is where the patterns really come into play and help you kind of sort out between apples and oranges, quite frankly. There's the weekly. This is auto-generated too, and it's been a long time since I've seen a massive bullish harmonic pattern generated like this on XRP. I'm a fan. I wish I could buy it. I'm not going to go through the nonsense of doing an international brokerage, whatever, and then do the VPN, and those that do it know exactly what I'm saying. Not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just a pain in the butt, and our regulatory bodies in the United States are ridiculous anyway, that they've dinged XRP. But maybe something's going to happen with XRP. It says it to me in the pattern there. Your type 2, you've stabilized 55 cents is your floor. Target 2 is what we would be shooting for, up to 137 on this move. This is one to book it for the next 6 months. Let's see how this plays out. I will be coming back to this. But this is one of those that, after the pattern completes, it still will take time for things to get going. And that XRP pattern, who knows? But put me down on record for saying that it really reminds me of this stuff. This kind of thing. When Bitcoin did a massive type 2 weekly bat retest and then did an explosion. I can get XRP on KuCoin. I thought I couldn't trade it as an American. Don't know. Folks, if anybody's in here that isn't with the program Harmonic Pattern Collection, by all means, please come join the party. Take a free trial. Take 2 weeks. If you want 3 weeks, I'll tell my guy to give you 3 weeks. I have to communicate how important it is that if you're going to do harmonic patterns, you've come this far, you've gone to harmonictrader.com and you're looking at the material, you became a basic member by registering on the website, by clicking that button and submitting your email and then logging in. The final step between you and fighting the markets and interacting and jumping in with the markets with all of this arsenal at your side is to get with the software program. I appreciate the recommendation on KuCoin. I will check it out on XRP because you know what? With XRP, I would throw $100,000 into there. I would definitely load up a major 6-figure position on XRP. Get 150,000 XRP. Should have done that at 60 cents. Don't use a bank account to buy XRP. Uphold it, and it'll be a 65-day wait. Use a debit card. Yeah, but if I want to wire money into KuCoin, that's the only way. Look, I would only do it if I could get a major position on XRP. I'll have to look it up. I thought it was off. It was not touchable. But do think about if something happens and they finally give them an announcement and Americans are able to get XRP back on their exchanges. Like, think about if XRP gets relisted on Coinbase. You can add $1 to that immediately. Look, I like XRP for the pattern. We don't have too many weekly patterns at the moment that are as fat as what XRP is showing you. And it reminds me of this situation with Bitcoin and total crypto market cap for that matter. Ethereum too. Remember here, Ethereum. I said Ethereum. There. No, we didn't have this back then. Unfortunately, we did not have harmonic pattern collection. But look at those patterns. Now, I say to myself, all right, crypto's for real. Where is the next one of these? Where's the next weekly bat pattern reversal like Ethereum or Total Crypto or Bitcoin? And look at the hop level. That was the absolute low for that bat pattern, folks. Incredible. There's Ethereum at 82, not the hop. Although I think Litecoin, it was either Litecoin or maybe Bitcoin Cash on the last correction in 2018. One of those hit. It hit a crazy weekly level. Maybe it was Litecoin. I have to. I won't waste time here today with that, but go back and look. But look at the weekly. Speaking of though levels, we haven't looked at Bitcoin Cash in a while. Check this out. Now, Bitcoin Cash did a fairly crazy reaction off of a few patterns. This was the first one, was that ABCD there. Did a secondary reaction off the crab, which was an ABCD retest. Then it exploded, did the parabolic move, and crashed. This is another 886. All-time 886. And I think Litecoin's the same. There you go. I mean, on the dot. To the dollar. 273, folks. Trading 337. This is still early in development, but I'm thinking this is fairly positive for overall crypto that you have hit these levels. Weekly charts. All-time 382 is 792 for BCH. The Discord's about to get it's a great comment. There's a question about we should add specific channels on the Harmonic Pattern Central, and where we can post daily, weekly, long-term charts. Yes, and we will be doing that. And we're going to be expanding that out as well. Bitcoin Cash, I think I like it. Anywhere in that $300 level is pretty much going to be your pivot point. Show me something down here on the weekly or daily even. I go to the daily. The weekly, it has reversed from the oversold and with a bullish RSI. HSI triggered. All of that's, wow, right there at basically 280 is the exact number. So very positive. Better word, constructive for the bullish scenario. Absolutely. And again, we don't need much to get the overall environment going again. I still say that Bitcoin going sideways or higher is better than going down and will get your other alts moving. I'll look at Cosmos really quick. I said today would be about crypto. Maybe I should do dedicated days like a Monday overview, Tuesday crypto, Thursday free for all. Who knows? Binance at the 886, but I know there's better data feeds. There you go. Cosmos. Let me say something about Cosmos and the relative position to, say, other coins. Cosmos has held up fairly impressive, but pretty clear, folks, unable to bust through 44. I would, from a structural standpoint, I would want to see a minimum 886 retest, some kind of 886 retest, or some kind of very distinct pattern, absolute, if not perfect pattern to trigger the next move higher. You are oversold short term, and you even have a couple of triggers here on Cosmos, roughly around the 28 level, with this, the 25 being about, the stop underneath there. It would have to stop there, but you're not at the 886. Not that Cosmos isn't a nice one, a good market to be looking at. It needs some more work. I think others are further along, such as, let me say, where's Luna? Luna's been bumping pretty nice, stabilizing at the 50 level. And you go to the hourly chart on Luna, a lot of big numbers down here where you've had a few 10, 15% reactions over the course of the last 2 weeks. Check out these patterns on Luna on the hourly. Boing, boing, boing. I mean, I have to blow it up so you can really see it, but we're dealing with a bat pattern, bearish bat pattern at the moment, but this is more of what I'm referring to with Luna. Not so much that it's going gangbusters, but the patterns have been popping left and right. Really nice accuracy and response off of terminal bar reactions. Like, there's two patterns right here. $50 go almost to 55 for 10% move in one day, one session, and then come back for the retest. Even though you didn't hit target 1, you still know that that's a reaction and looking for retest down XA level, target 2. But you go back to the last few days. Look at the last couple of zones here. Pattern after pattern. There's another bearish reaction. Come back up. Longer term still needs time. It's not nearly as good as a few of the others we've been looking at. Someone wanted to look at Link. We looked at that last time, and it's the same deal with Link. Link isn't, for all the talk, not doing a lot, right? Here, let me get this. It's the wrong one. Link is this. $16. Look at the hourly chart, folks. Still just a reaction off the hop at 15. If you're looking to hodl, there's nothing here until you retest. I mean, beautiful 4-hour, a couple of real nice back-to-back 4-hour patterns here. Take a look at the last 3 patterns. Let's walk through them. This is Link. Tradable, not hodlable. There's the completion of the crab, but your confirmation doesn't happen till all the way under the hop. It worked. Ugly, but it worked. And that's maybe the takeaway with all your patterns. We need confirmation. Otherwise, the reliability of a larger move is, you just have to lean towards reaction. But then you go form another ABCD for another reaction move. Come back and retest again. And same with Link. Here we're at target 1. Still no confirmation yet for a major move, but look for a retest. Maybe back to 15, but that's about it. Between 15 and 18 for now. I would be more inclined to look at stuff like Cardano going from $1.05 or $1.10 back to maybe $1.30, or if we get something, it's simple swing, 886 swing. Does the software predict future patterns? It sure does. It's a good question. Listen, it's the reason why we cannot show the pending patterns. I've mentioned this last time in our session, is because of the limitations with the graphic interface with PineScript. I know with this next update, it's going to improve everything. The functionality, you will see better performance, everything across the board. And even in our scanners, okay, you will get, this is, so in our scanner, I can't even, let me change the settings so you can see that. Where'd it go? I want to change that color. And let me do it another time. But we do have pending possibilities in the scanner. I just don't think it's, why is it doing that to me? Look, Thursday I'll come back and I will have a lot more information on the update. But the pending feature, I do hope to improve, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I address this because of the typical sequence of how harmonic patterns unfold. Usually we're going to get the pattern completion, and then you're going to have that window of 3, 5, maybe as many as 10 bars to capture that reaction or that segment. Cardano did that very thing where we had a few patterns. We were targeting somewhere around $1. A couple patterns generated in this area around the hop level at 104, 106. We were talking about that yesterday. Look at the session. Now we go back up. We generate another ABCD. Off of that bullish pattern, well, that's back-to-back patterns. This is just probably a reaction. But still plenty of time to respond to that signal. And this is an hourly chart, so each bar is in 1 hour. Your best setups are coming after the fact, folks. That's the point. Your larger formations, your larger possibilities are coming after the fact. And probably the one to follow is XRP. That shows that exact sequence of type 1 reaction, type 2 reversal. Let's go to the weekly chart. There it is. And I have walked through this before, but again, this is our probably the strongest weekly pattern we have currently. And this completed back in June. So you could have said back in June, wow, that's a Gartley on a weekly. It's going to explode, probably go to all-time new highs. No. What you should be thinking at the initial completion is, wow, that's a weekly Gartley. Let's look for some confirmation, and let's think at the terminal bar here, which was 53 cents, for target 1 move at 101. And that's, and I will assess larger possibilities beyond that. We did a big thrust move, could not continue higher. Okay, can't continue higher, no problem. Why? That's common type 1 behavior, even on a weekly. And again, you're talking, this is June. First full reaction took almost 2 months. 3 months until it finally really rolled over. And then you come back and you fully retest 6 months later. This is now with the retest where the larger opportunity sits every time. Every time. That secondary structural retest. It's a standard technical analysis initial support, retest, confirmation. That's where then we look for that larger support to turn into something more. And 55 cents, our XA level measured from the pattern, we should, in this instance, Even though it's taken more time, we're still looking for target 2. But it requires, there's time. There's a lot of time that has to unfold in between that too. Those two signals and that whole process. This is my problem with hodling. This is the theory of hodling I have a problem with because all markets are cyclical. You have to face that. All markets are cyclical. Even in the best of situations, all markets are cyclical. They have a cyclicality, even in the strongest of bull markets. We had a great Gartley, connect your dots. I mean, really, the way this should be illustrated is like this. All right, there's XA. The real completion of that was there. And it's a beautifully constructed symmetry of the whole alignment. Despite that, you're still going to have to walk your way through the type 1 reaction, come back, and I even like the fact that it took out the prior low on this big shakeout. A lot of things here, a lot of very subtle technical things that have happened with XRP, remarkably constructive for the next leg higher. And I do feel as if XRP should begin a march where it goes week over week. Does not check back, does not take out any prior lows, and you begin to make your way up to 101.50. Certainly $1 is not a stretch from this point. Look at your downtrend. That's a real clear, that's the last accelerated downtrend move I think you can draw, and then go even longer term, something like that, or really like that. You're close to resolving this downtrend. Why did the pattern complete before D? Well, it's again, the question is, why is our D point extended? This is one of the limitations with the illustrations of the script. The icon, and it's important to know that, where the icon, that sun icon, let me blow it up for everybody. That is critical because that's the pattern completion point, and we know that everything starts to the right of that. The pattern will, the label for the last discernible low on this of the pattern will get illustrated in that manner, basically because of the limitations of the Pine script. But this is our poster child, folks. If we want to see crypto really move, I want to see XRP move probably more than any of them. I want to see XRP above $1, or even do something really spectacular, surprise me and get to 137, 138, and be the first one to do things in 2022. Keep your eyes on XRP. And I'll go to KuCoin and see if I can go buy it there. Hey, Mohammed, you're asking, I want to know what's the most about the HPC community. Oh, that's what you like about, yeah, you know what? The updates, and I appreciate that. Thank you. And thanks to everybody in the chat and everybody watching, and all the people that do watch when they get home later in the day. I'm seeing a lot more people watching when they get home. That's great. I feel like the information we provide is relevant, timely. Even if it's 12 hours later or 24 hours later, you're still going to be on top of the markets and the key levels that you need to know about. Crypto, major stock market, and are we up, are we down, what are we doing? With crypto, again, I think it's more about time than price. I've said that over and over again. I just think we can look at the big top few indices, the Bitcoin, total crypto market cap, DeFi, and as long as they continue to make progress, they're not imploding, that's good for the whole sector. Otherwise, you're going to fall into a vacuum. That's not what you want to see. That's what was happening in January, and you were just getting valuation was getting sucked out of the market. Okay, Alice, banned. Poor Alice. 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 Because I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari. If anybody knows that one. Alice is one of your metaverse, right? No, that's banned. Haha. Alice, this is for the person Alice, but Alice the metaverse, I didn't look at that one. But she wanted to look at banned weekly, same deal. Let's get to the right of the downtrends, folks. I posted one or two of these. I like that, but it needs work. Needs to get to the right. Here's my total. Look, here's this XYO. Remember this? Looks like garbage. Total garbage, right? That's where I want to be. I want to be there buying junk, not crap. Big difference between junk and crap. This, okay, is more junk and not crap because of that. And sure, it's going to need time, but that whole downtrend has been taken out. We've seen that. Here's Zcash. Same deal. I talked about this yesterday and last week. Get to the right. Jump across the stream, the Wyckoff thing. And trigger something to the right here. Start accumulating to the right. That's right. Hey, thank you, BMarts14, for a shout out for Mitch Ray. Wanted to let everybody know. Actually, we're going to get Mitch Ray on the podcast on Thursday. I forgot to mention that. Mitch Ray, Thursday. Mitch Ray, Thursday, 11:30. We'll hammer it out. I don't know if we'll be drinking beer quite yet, but we'll have a great discussion. We were supposed to have Mitch there about 2 weeks ago. But I think everyone understands what I'm getting at with these. Here's another one, folks. YFI, you're in finance. It's coming back into us. This is the kind of situation I mentioned. Let's get it on the pullback, the retest. This has got an 886 at around 20,500. It's you have a few things here. You have kind of a shark. You do have a bat pattern. You could go like the bat pattern off of here. $886 at 20,800. You came back as low as 22.5. You're almost there. These are at the final point of trying to stabilize and put in a whole new low against the prior low at the end of last year. Keep an eye on it. Really, I know it's frustrating for a lot of people. They're wanting this thing to get mooning again, and that's okay. It will. But we need to do the work. Here's Tezos, XTZ. Again, what am I going to go to? What ratio? You know it. I know it. We all know it. The 886. 886 on Tezos. 290. I mean, that didn't spend more than 2 days underneath 290 and popped hard. Okay, last one, LRC, because I do want to move on to one or two other markets. LRC is one that we said just wait and wait and wait. Did it get to the 886 off of that swing? Because we do have, look, there's a couple things here. There's the bat right there for LRC. And this, look, oh, are you kidding me? 80 cents. If that came back to 80 cents, folks, go for it. 886, what a great number, right? The 886 has just been phenomenal in crypto. Love it. I'm looking at LRC, and like all of these, the way to assess the potential, just minimum structural potential off of a real nice M formation like that, is a minimum 382 bounce. That's what you know what to gun for. 190, 192, 193. Okay, it's almost a dollar higher. That's a double just in a minimum reactive 382 bounce. Three rising valleys on LRC. Maybe, yeah, you need to hold this low. More important, we need a breakout. You need to construct some kind of W formation to really get this, to be able to project this kind of development. You need to see something like that break out above the B point so you can do a thrust like an 886 or get some kind of move off this floor. I do like the fact that with LRC, this is better than the others. Okay, we have a few of these. It's pretty clear which ones are under their trend line and which are to the right of their trend line. Go with the ones that are to the right of their trend line. They're in much further development with a better chance to trigger a larger move, earlier move, what have you. Here's one or two of the crypto stocks I have been mentioning recently that I think are important to follow. Here's Bybit, weekly, still early. Triggering now the HSI on the weekly. What does that mean? Bang! Type 2 reversal is at hand. Get it on the radar. I've traded this one a few times already with some size and success. Capturing, 10, 15% move up to that above 5 on that last one. I'm thinking we're going to make another, bottom out and make another low, confirm the low, and start to go. That one is not nearly as far along as, say, Riot blockchain, but powerful patterns here, folks. Weekly time frame. Look at Riot. Riot was a daily. My fault. There you go. Look at that. Riot's going to take its time, but target 1, 25.65, target 2, 33.50. That would be the top end, but don't be surprised. Take a look at the last pattern that was generated and triggered, the Gartley. Let's look at the 30 bars. Post-terminal bar. There's terminal bar. 30 bars. Right there. Well, we triggered that pattern completion on the 20th of September. And then you spend 10, 12 days sideways until you finally did get up to target 1. I mean, exactly. Target 1. Reaction over. Now, here's the difference between target 1, target 2. I hope this helps people differentiate it, because how do you know? What happens to a lot of new people is they get into the trade early. It's so common. People will get in here, or maybe they'll get in right at the 786 or something like that, and then ride the consolidation, and then capture the pop up, but not take it, because they don't understand about that's just a reaction. Ride it back down and then blast up. You still have to be responding each time. If you're in a type 1 reaction, expect that at target 1 you're going to have to take some kind of action. Come back down. If you're at target 2, there's 35 and it just keeps on motoring. Well, you better move your stops up, because if it doesn't follow through, which this one didn't, it shows you what can happen. You have to be essentially closing out the positions, taking it, moving on. Now, how do we handle Riot? Because this is still early in the development, and we have another good 25% of the upside till target one. Go to a 5 minute time frame, I think, is probably the best. Look for pullbacks. What do we have here? Since the low at 13, you've had a couple of nice patterns. Big Gartley, that's what we're wrestling with at the moment, with a hop level at 17. I would look at this somewhere in this 18 area for the next entry. If we can come back down one more time and then trigger like that and then go, we'll come back on Thursday, see how that shapes up. But crypto does seem to be trying to do things. And we see it in the individual crypto. We see it in the stocks, where we could at least get a correction. Maybe think about it this way. The clock is ticking, and we're dealing with really the second half of the first quarter. And so maybe we just come up in a kind of a corrective rally on a lot of these to alleviate the larger situation. I mean, no doubt we could easily come back up, do a type 1 reaction, and then come back down later in the quarter. But we're certainly making progress to target 1. I mean, we're not going down anymore. Mara is the other one for these stocks. Sorry. I think Mara was weekly as well. Oh, look at that crab pattern on Mara. Amazing. What was Mara? Daily? I don't know. Certainly the 886, the last swing 886 is on Mara was $25. Go with Bybit. Go with those other ones. I think they've got better patterns. MicroStrategy, that has a big weekly pattern that actually, check out beautiful Gartley on that daily. But look, the weekly on MicroStrategy, or was it the monthly? There's something big on MicroStrategy. What was it? I don't know. Maybe I've got that wrong. I know the Bybit was the big one we were looking at, but MicroStrategy or I forget the other stock. FTM. I'll look at FTM. Not quite there yet. At least this is breaking out of the downtrend. Not really crazy about that. I'll look at that Voyager. What is that? VY? GVF? I wonder what that market cap is. Nothing really there on Voyager that screams out to me. Again, a lot of the those that I'm looking at we're looking for reactions. Riot Blockchain and Bybit. Just look for reactions on those. So quickly, the Dow's up 350. Nasdaq's rebounded from yesterday. There we go. Oh, there's -1. Oh, good. This was a position I had earlier on, but now up to 24. And let me see here. Did that get to my objective? 1 second. I got to close this position out. Here, let me move up my stop. 1 second. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to do a couple things at the same time. Let me move my stop. All right. Thank you. I did want to highlight one or two stocks really quickly. Walmart, folks. Let's move over to the eSignal platform. Here's Walmart. Retesting the 130 level. I think I mentioned this a long time ago. We're back down, almost ready to finally hit the bat. Around 131 and change. And a few of these have come close. This is the thing I'm looking for. I'm kind of looking for, I mentioned it in crypto, I'm looking for the markets to do some kind of mid-quarter washout. We've been dropping. We still will likely go lower. But I'm looking for this thing to retest some patterns like Walmart has. Here's another one. Target. And I think these are longer term swing opportunities that have finally presented themselves. Hold on one second. Do I have that set up? Yeah. Ooh, it's just running slow. Let me go to the other platform. Go target. Here you go. Target almost back down to this. What I'm looking for on target is this 1618. A lot of them were not able to continue. That's a devastating double top right there. But we're coming down into that point of 1618, a little bit lower, around 194, now trading 207. And you see it in many of the bigger stocks like this, big cap consumer stocks. They have a zone to drop into. They're heading there. They're accelerating in recent days. Many of them have made progress lower into those zones, but that's around 180. That's a big buy point for Target, folks. Probably your best opportunity to get on Target in the last 2 or 3 years. Did I get stopped out? Hold on one second. Yeah, I got stopped out. Good. So that's where a few of these larger structures are coming into their own, setting up, giving us an ideal area to be targeting weekly pullbacks. Here's Costco. Another one, another long-term weekly triggered, that HSI. This thing has never retraced more than 15%, 20%. And this is the kind of longer-term play I would be looking at. Let this correction hit stocks like this. I mean, Costco, yes, it's in the retail, consumer goods, supply chain, whatever. But once that's over, this uptrend will continue. And that's what I want to be thinking. After this stuff is over, let this thing take a hit. But these are going to set up to give us an opportunity longer term to get in at a discounted price. Yeah, it's been a couple of years since these have retraced like this. Yeah, a couple of the other, how about here's one. This is Urban Outfitters. Okay, online retail. Check out these patterns. Beautiful. And a really nice type 1 back-to-back crabs. And this is dropping into Target too. There's a number of retailers like this where they're coming into hitting, they're in the Target 1, Target 2 zone, and they're about to complete that correction. Not there yet. Still have some more work to do, but a lot of these are in their final phases, the kind of final throwdown phases. Many that have not really sustained any kind of correction in the last couple of years. Let me bring up was the other one? Was it Mattel? I think it was Mattel. No, wasn't Mattel. Well, it was Mattel because of this. There was a bat pattern on the daily, but that wasn't nearly like the other ones. Mattel's held up quite well. Take a look at this sideways action and then a retest of the bat pattern. Perfect type 2. That's the kind of scenario you want to see at a high level where you have a pattern, still in the reaction, real nice reaction in October, can't continue, comes all the way back down, exactly hits, does the return move, and then comes back and hits XA level for the breakout. I guess supply chain's not affecting toys. So there are many of these type of situations. They've retested patterns or in the process of retesting these major patterns to trigger a larger trend continuation. I feel that way about tech. Even though tech has been destroyed, I really think that we needed this correction. And it's ultimately going to be for the good of the market to take out the steam, if you will, the excess pressure, and let it get into some old value stocks before it starts to heat up again. Where's this? Where's Ford? Really quick. Here's Ford. I'm looking at Ford. Nothing yet. But just simply the fact that this has already been taken a real dramatic haircut in the last 2 months, 3 months. But it exemplifies everything I've been saying about crypto and a lot of these corrections. Let's let the downtrend resolve itself and form some kind of signal to the right of that chart. Few people asked me about Ford recently, if that was a buy or if it was, I think they were looking at a crab. Oh, I see why. Okay, someone asked me, said, is this a crab in Ford? I wanted to highlight this. The other reason why I wanted to highlight this was because the subtle differences really matter. So Ford has been one of those massive recovery stocks. Actually, look at the monthly. We've talked about Ford has massive patterns on the monthly chart. Let me show this quickly. Look at this massive type 2 bat pattern on Ford. I think that's one of the things we were talking about a year ago about Ford at about $8. And take a look at what it did. Incredible. It did the type 1 reaction all the way back here, 2009. This is a monthly. And then it did the type 2 reversal up to target 2 exactly. Now I remember why people were asking about this. So now what? Well, let's look for an opportunity. I don't think it's going to come all the way back to $8, at least not yet. I think we will try to retest that 25 level one more time some point in the next year. But it sets up a nice trade. And go to, say, the 4 hour. This is what I think people were looking for that because of this. They're saying, is this a crab pattern? With all of that and the possibility that, retesting that level. This is not a crab pattern because let's connect the dots. Here's X to A. The B point does set you up at an 886, but here's the trick. Your C point is almost exact. It's just above the A point. That negates it. I mean, you do have a 1618 there, but it negates the deep crab. It's not by definition a crab. It's why it hasn't registered. It wasn't illustrated. The other thing to note, folks, is we want to see XABCD patterns form where they have a little room on the retracement. I mean, I want to see an XAB. I don't want my C point really above an 886. Maybe it could be a little bit higher, maybe a 946. I mentioned that before. But we start to lose the M or W construction if we don't get that. And it does matter. Keep an eye on Ford. Like the other ones, I do think there's an opportunity here, but probably later in the quarter or maybe in a few months. And to go back to 25 from 18, very possible. It's just trigger something down here. I think that's probably a good topic for Thursday to go to the long term, some of the major long term patterns that have developed or developing, and get in on some of those. Speaking of retail, we've kind of talked about a few of those today. Here's Bed Bath and Beyond, and this is a big monthly setup. Take a look. This is the retest of a crab, but it's also no, it's a weekly. There's a bat pattern down here. There you go. Sorry, Gartley. Massive Gartley on Bed Bath and Beyond. And this is at a point it tried to slam it under the XA level 2 weeks ago. We are holding, folks. I like that chart a lot better now. 1424 is your primary level that you want to target, and we should be thinking target 1 up at 28.85 from here. Keep an eye on that. We're seeing patterns in a lot of these that I don't want to dismiss it. Definitely early, and it's going to take a while for that to get to 28. But that's what we want to be looking for. Clear pattern development, construction, stabilization, where we don't even have to really question it. You're spending weeks going sideways at your XA level. Jared is saying Bed Bath & Beyond is a debt-free company. If that's the truth, I like it. I love debt-free companies. That's how I started out. When I first started out, I got Value Line Investment Survey. I would look at Investors Business Daily, and I would scan for debt-free companies. I think that's why I picked Novellus Semiconductors, one of the first stocks I ever bought, because they were debt-free. That's good to know. That kind of fundamental information, that's helpful. It doesn't affect where I buy, but if I'm looking for a long-term play and Bed Bath & Beyond is debt-free, that helps. Good to know. Again, many of these have set up to where they're at a point you want to take a look at them. They look like garbage because they don't seem to be doing much, but that's when we grab them. Last one in the retail sector is Rite Aid. We've looked at this before. It did a little reaction off the Gartley, but there's a couple of patterns down here where I would be looking maybe as low as 775. Do we have any triggers yet? No. Pretty close. HSI on the weekly is oversold, so we might get another shot. Retail, why would I deal with such a garbage chart like that? Because we have patterns, and I have a really clear objective that target 1. I'm thinking down here at 775 or $8. I'm thinking target 1 is my objective. I just need to see a trigger. I need to see a breakout. Go pull the downtrend line. Okay, we need to break out of this downtrend. But once we do, if we can establish maybe on this next retest somewhere, I think it's under 10, so it's not quite yet. If we're this low, we probably kiss the hop. But if we get to the hop at 8, I would be loading up. Keep an eye on all of these. I like what's going on. I do. Again, the markets, The crypto markets, these are all more about time than price. Let's line up the structures and get ready to roll. Because I do think you're it's a hell of a lot better to be looking to buy when we're 15, 20% down, or in crypto's case, 88% on sale. We just need capital allocation to flow back into the market. That's how I'm thinking about it. So let's come back on Thursday and talk more about that. Until then, folks, go to harmonictrader.com. Please get with the software, become a basic member, sign up, just submit your information, and then go to the basic members page. Get with the software. I will have a full update about the new TradingView program, HPC combo, on Thursday. So come on back then. I'll probably even have some kind of how-to video, and we'll do a walkthrough. Looking forward to that, especially with the improved scanner. So more on that, everybody. Come on back Thursday. We will also have Mitch Ray TA on Thursday. A lot going on. So join us about 11:30. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to get with it. And until then, go get 'em.